We're glad you're with us this evening. I'm Terry Brewer.
And I'm Lynn Brooks. Rebuilding after the storms, experts say the road to recovery will be slow and long. It will also take, of course, a lot of planning.
And that's why leaders from across the state and nation are gathering in Tuscaloosa to look at how to rebuild. That's our top story tonight at 5 o'clock. Around 60 people met for a workshop at the University of Alabama. The meeting was called Rebuilding Sustainable Communities for Children and Their Families After the Tornado. Leaders from Tuscaloosa and Jefferson counties were there. Dr. Adenrili Awantone from the University of Massachusetts led the meetings. After touring some of the areas hit hard by the tornadoes, they divided into groups to develop plans for recovery while focusing on the needs of the children and families.
Disasters are very local. So the solutions to the problems arising from disasters also must be local. They must be rooted in the local circumstances, the local culture, the local politics, the local administrative setup. They must be very local. So really, in that sense, you cannot have a template.
Officials say they plan to present their ideas to Governor Robert Bentley.
Well, do you have ideas on how to rebuild Tuscaloosa? If you do, tonight is your chance to share those thoughts. The Tuscaloosa Forward is hosting a public workshop tonight, and you're invited to share all your ideas on how to rebuild and help establish a vision for the future. That meeting kicks off at 6 o'clock tonight at the Bryant Conference Center. Public transportation is available. Shuttle buses will pick up from 5 o'clock through 6:30 and then drop off from 8 until 9:30. That's going to happen at these locations: the former Locklear Dodge site on 10th Avenue, also the Leland Shopping Center on 10th Street, and University Place Elementary School on 1st Avenue. Of course, Alabama's home team will have this covered on the news at 10.
The July 4th holiday weekend is just around the corner, which may bring more people out and into the water. But do you know how to help someone in distress? YMCA Aquatics Director Catalina Casura stresses the importance of making sure you're safe before you try to help others. She says the first reaction of many people is to jump in and help, but that's not what you should do. She says to remember 3 things: reach, throw, and don't go.
Reach out to the victim to bring it closer to the safety. If the victim is a little bit far away, get an object that will extend your body and actually bring that person to the safety. And it's the person is really, really far away, throw something to that person that will help them float.
She also says to make sure you're hydrated, take breaks, and aren't out in the sun too long when you spend time in the water.
Good news for former Alabama Governor Bob Riley. He continues to improve after his motorcycle crash. You might recall we've been following the story. He was injured Sunday in Alaska. He was on a motorcycle trip across the country. Riley was hospitalized in Fairbanks, Alaska with several broken bones. He also had a punctured lung. A family spokesman says Riley lost control of his motorcycle while traveling on a dirt and gravel road. Hospital officials say Riley's condition has been upgraded from fair to good, and he is conscious. They say his outlook for recovery is considered good to excellent.
Alabama's Gulf State Park has burned for more than 4 days now, and more than 500 acres have gone up in smoke. On Wednesday, Governor Bentley toured Gulf State Park to get a better view of the fire damage. Bentley has declared a state of emergency for Gulf Shores because of the wildfire. He met with forestry officials to get an update on their efforts to control the fire. Firefighters have set perimeter fires to try and control the burn. Bentley said he's pleased with their plan.
If you look at where the back burns are beginning right now, there is a walking trail that's paved. That's the place to start it, and that's the place that we are starting it. With the wind coming this way, I mean, this is the perfect timing for it. And you feel that wind right now. And it's blowing the smoke this way, and that's good. That's the way we want it to blow right now. So if you look at exactly where they're starting it, this is where we need to try to stop the fire.
The park has closed off many of its campsites because of the conditions.
On your health watch, treating breast cancer. For the second time, the FDA has ruled against using the best-selling cancer drug in the world, Avastin, for breast cancer. Officials say Avastin should no longer be used in breast cancer patients because they believe it's ineffective and unsafe. The panel says Aveston should have its approval for breast cancer withdrawn. The FDA commissioner will make the final decision later next month. Aveston is approved for multiple cancers and will still be available for breast cancer, but insurers are expected to drop coverage if it loses its FDA approval. Well, this newscast happens right around supper time, and so we're going to talk a little bit about food. You know, hot dogs, hamburgers, ribs, a little something to get your attention there.
Yeah, it got my attention, that's for sure. This weekend, lots of people are going to be lighting up the grill to cook up some of that delicious food, but there are some important tips you need to know to keep your holiday meal a healthy and a happy experience. Reporter Michael Jones has more.
Planning to fire up the grill this holiday, there are a few safety tips that may help keep your meals fun and safe. Before you begin, don't forget to make a stop at the sink to wash your hands. And as this new public service announcement points out, if seafood or meats are on the menu, keep them cold before cooking. If you're home, leave them in the fridge until it's time to grill. And if you're elsewhere, keep items in a cooler. A safe temperature is 40 degrees or below. A second PSA reminds us that it's also important to keep your meats and other foods, such as produce, separate. Don't use the same cutting boards or utensils for meat as you do for your veggies. If your meal calls for a marinade, remember to keep it in the fridge. Don't let it sit out on the counter until right before you're ready to grill. When you think the meat is cooked, use a meat thermometer to check for the proper internal temperature. Grilled meat and poultry often brown very fast on the outside, but may not be fully cooked on the inside. After the meat is done, keep it at 140 degrees or above until it's served. Setting the meat to the side of the grill is one way to help ensure you're safe.
The United States Department of Agriculture has more information on food safety while you're cooking out. For a shortcut to their website, go to our website, WVUATV.com. Just click numbers and links.